Okay, so here we are live. Uh, Thank you so much for coming live today with us. Uh, let's wait for 1 minute or 2 minutes. Let audience join, and then we can start. And how was the day? It's early morning there, right?
Here, no. Here it's 9 p.m. I'm in Israel, so here it's evening as
Oh,
well.
you're in Israel.
Yeah,
9
I
p.m.
just have
only.
lights here in the studio, so it's like it looks like it's morning.
Okay, okay. So there is only like 9 p.m. Here it's 10 p.m. in Dubai. So we are
Yeah,
only
yeah,
1 hour.
yeah.
You can join us for dinner or a cup of coffee at any time. Also, I am planning to have to arrange a Amazon seller event here in Dubai next year, January or February.
Great. Yeah,
So we
let me
are
know. I'll see if I can make it.
yeah, definitely. So guys, today a special guest and author of a book. He just recently launched a book, and the book is going in the bestseller badge as well. Also, there are many agencies, seven-eight-figure sellers, and many agencies are reading are buying his book. Mr. Tomer, he is with us today, and he will share the top secrets that which basically he has written in the book. He has write in the book. So we will ask him few questions. What do you think? Like, why do you think that I should launch a book for people? You saw that many sellers, you saw that many agencies, they are already expert. From where did you get this idea that I should go and explore all the knowledge whatever I have to make the people successful?
Yeah. So thank you for having me. First of all, so the book came from COVID, really, because COVID hit and I couldn't travel and speak at different events. And I felt like this is gonna last for a long time, this COVID thing, because if flights are getting canceled, airports are getting shut down, it's not gonna come back very quickly. And then I thought, what I'm gonna do, I can do a podcast, I can do what you're doing, which is a great Facebook group and hosting people, but or a YouTube channel or a blog, but all of those different, none of them are a project that has a beginning and has an end. So I decided to write a book because I knew that I just need to do it once. It's a lot of work, but I do it once, it's done, and then I'm done with it. So that's one thing. The other thing is that I've been mainly working for the past few years with bigger sellers, mainly 7 8 figure sellers, and this was my opportunity to kind of give everything I know to basically every seller or every employee or virtual assistant or agencies, whoever that wants to know what sellers see, from their perspective, and what I believe sellers need to do in order to scale their business. So the book is not a how to sell an Amazon book. That's not the goal of the book. The book is really for those that are actively selling on Amazon, or maybe launched a few products on Amazon, maybe even exited their business. They have a lot they can learn from the book. So it covers everything from product research, sourcing, launching, PPC, supply chain, KPIs, and then it goes into scaling your business with a team and systems in place, and finally exiting the business if that's what you want. So this is the book right here. Whoops,
Oh,
sorry.
yep.
Obviously,
Ride
I
the
want to.
Amazon wave, guys. Ride the Amazon wave.
Yeah,
Look
ride
at
the
the
Amazon
name.
wave. What's that?
Look at the book name. The name is very, attractive. How about the knowledge? Like I know when the book was going to be launched, and I was very excited. And I came to your inbox and I asked you, brother, I want this book, and you said, hey, it will be for you first. You will get the first. And then I told to my friends as well. One of my friends, she's in Malaysia, and when I told her about your book, she didn't wait. She didn't wait. She said, just send me the link. I want to buy it. And it's really, she's now waiting for the book. The delivery is coming from the US, but she is very excited, and she saw your posts as well. So I
Mm.
was really happy because we know that you are really providing the knowledge and the value that is in the book, definitely. So after that, for example, like you said that this book is specifically for 7 8 figure agencies and 7 8 figure sellers, the big sellers. And which I even see personally that under your post that so many people, they are buying your book, and they are saying positive feedbacks. Are they, what are the things that they are going to, like, grab the knowledge from the book, and what do you think, like, and they will take it and make the agency from 7 to 8 and 8 to 9 figure. What is the most attractive thing is there, most knowledgeable?
Yeah, so I think like even if someone has a lot of experience on Amazon, they are gonna be surprised at least once in each chapter. If we you think about a topic like product selection, for example, it sounds like a basic topic or a beginner's topic, but at the end of the day, that's the most important thing when trying to scale your business. I've been consulting this year. I've been working with Elevate Brands, one of the aggregators, and I basically help them to structure their some of their product development systems as well. So I've done that for a few months. So I've seen a lot. I've seen supply chains, and I've seen like product pipelines with a lot of different businesses. So it's all kind of condensed in the book. What I will say is like on this call, I don't want to just push the book. I just want to give value to everyone listening. So if anyone obviously has questions, feel free to post them in the chat as well, and I'll do my best to answer anything I can.
Yeah.
What I will say what I will say about product selection, for example, that's a very common mistake that I've seen over the years. Is that, and I did the mistake myself, and it's actually in the book. When you
Oh,
launch a
okay.
product, when you launch a
Mm-hmm.
product on Amazon, if it works out, if the product actually kicks off and makes money, instead of chasing the next product. So let's say um, you launch a garlic press, right? Let's say that's your product. So you launch
Okay.
a garlic press, it goes well. Then you think, okay, I'm going to launch a lemon squeezer next. That's my next kitchen product that I'm going to launch. But that's really a mistake, because especially if it's your first product. If it's your first product and it goes well, what you want to do is you want to launch more garlic presses. You want to launch more colors, sizes, either as variations or as new listings. That's a whole different argument, and it's actually in the book in detail. But you don't want to just jump into the next product. So basically what we do is we just launch products. So we call this like going wide. So we just launch different products one after the other. And once we get a hit with a product, we just launch more of the same thing over and over again. And that's one thing that I can say, that I've, even when I consult 7 or 8 figure sellers, I can say that they're not really doing that, not utilizing all of the variations that can actually launch to just
Mm-hmm.
get more either real estate by opening a new listing, or just by getting more sales for their existing listings.
Okay, cool. First of all, there's a hi for you from the guys,
Perfect.
and there's a. I hope you are doing good. I would love to know your take on keep selling through a profitable store versus flip the store, and why do you choose the name Amazon Wave for the book? I think there's a question for the
Yeah,
book.
yeah. So I guess I can answer this first. So the name of the book. So there, I think this was the most difficult thing for me to come up with the name. The book was almost finished, and I kept going like between around different names. But I really think that we all understand that Amazon is like Amazon is obviously a river, and a wave kind of fits it. But the thing about Ride the Amazon Wave is that Amazon is getting more and more complex over time. It's not getting any easier. Um, I mean, you have a PPC agency, so PPC is not getting any easier. It's getting more and more competitive. Bids are going up. More and more placements, more complexities added. Day parting, whatever, like more API access. It's all getting more and more complex. But at the same time, there is more. There is a lot of opportunity still in this business. So I think that anyone listening, I really believe that we are all in the best place, in the best time to do this
Gotcha.
business. And I remember when I went in, I started selling in 2015. People told me it's too late. You got in too late into this business. And I
Got you.
think
Got
like I think like people saying it now is gonna be funny for us in like 5 years from now or 7 years from now. I still think
Okay.
there is a lot of room to grow, but I
Yes.
still think that we need to kind of capitalize and make the most money we can while we can. So I think anyone that I know regrets not borrowing more money or not investing more money in their business 4 or 5 years ago, and they would if they could, if they knew um, what will happen now compared to then. And I think it's going to be again the same in 4 or 5 years from now.
I got you. I got you. So there's one more. uh, does I think maybe they need to write, does your product
Yeah,
have with PPC? Does your I mean maybe
yeah,
does your
yeah. The book, I guess.
book
Yeah.
book
Yeah,
yeah.
so I will say that PPC, when I initially wrote the book, it was the longest chapter in the book. It had all of the campaign strategy and bidding strategy, and basically everything was in the book. But PPC is changing all the time. So it didn't make a lot of sense. I sent it to a friend of mine who has a small PPC agency. And he told me, look, this is not no longer relevant since a month ago. This is not really true anymore. So then I said to change the entire chapter. So it actually became the shortest chapter in the book. And now what I do in the book is I just talk about should you use an agency? Should you do it in-house? Should you outsource it? And I kind of talk about that argument in the book. What I will say, and again, my opinion also keeps changing on PPC, but what I will say is if we look at, let's say, Google Ads, right, or Facebook Ads, Google Ads is almost impossible to do on your own these days.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Amazon. I'm talking about in general, right? If you want to
Mhm.
run Amazon ads for anything, for your website, whatever, you probably need an agency to do it for you.
Yeah.
Facebook ads, I used to do them myself in 2015, 2016, but now it's
Okay.
close to impossible to do them yourself because it's
Mhm.
so complex.
Yep.
Amazon is obviously going the same direction.
Yep.
I think Amazon is very close. It's like 90% there already that you have to either outsource it, and outsource it can be agency, freelancer, software. You can
Whatever
also
you
do it
can.
in-house. You can
Yeah.
also do it in-house if you have someone with a lot of experience in-house with PPC, or if they
Gotcha.
learn quickly. But
The
that's
method.
what I think these days, and I
Yep.
think that's where this is going. And what I tell sellers is, if there is no one on your team that understands PPC, it has to be you. Like that. That's
I
pretty much
got you.
it. And
Yeah.
even if you use an agency, even if you doesn't matter what you use, you still need someone that understands PPC on a deep level in your team.
And your
Um,
team
because what happens is if you use an agency and it doesn't work out, PPC is your second biggest expense after inventory. So
inventory.
uh, if it doesn't work out, right? If I use an agency, it doesn't work out. I am in a very complex situation right now that they have to kind of transition to a different agency, and I don't even know how to kind of measure them, right? If I just tell them, look, bring my cost to 10%, that's not a good idea, right? So again, you need to understand PPC, and if it's
PC.
not,
Yep.
if you don't want that to be, you need to hire someone in your team that understands
And your
PPC.
team.
That
Gotcha.
person can do SEO for you, keyword research, title
Yeah.
creation, stuff like that as well.
Okay. So here we have two questions. The both are similar. The first question is, what are the three main difficulties to upgrade one, like a seller or an agency from 0 to 3 figure? And the other question we have it, what are the three main difficulties to upgrade a seller, like upgrade an agency or himself or herself from 0 to 7 figure? The both
Yeah,
our questions are similar. Would like
yeah. So I'm not sure what does he mean by a three-figure seller.
a
Three-figure
three?
seller.
Let's
Yeah,
let's talk about 7 figure. Let's talk about seven
sure,
figure. No problem.
sure. Sorry, can you keep that question?
Yeah,
I will.
yeah, yeah. It's here. It's
Yeah.
here.
Okay. So what I will say is that really, with to get to seven figures, you really need only a few products, probably, and you might be able to do it all on your own. I will say that as soon as you can hire someone, hire someone. That's my recommendation on hiring. Like at least the first and second employee. It's all in a lot of detail in the book on how I hired and what mistakes I've made when I hired people and I fired my entire team, and that's all in there. But what I will say is that it starts and ends with the products. So you need
Yeah.
very high quality products, and you need to aim to do at least 10K a month with any product that you launch. It might not be in the very quickly. It might take a few months until you get there, and it might be with one or two variations as well. But those are the type of products you want to launch. You want to have, I would say, 7-8 products doing at least 10K a month. That is already a seven-figure seller. That's where you can be with like maybe one or two more people, very small team, and already have a seven-figure business pretty quickly.
Got you. We have
Yeah.
the same thing that you just spoke, that you need a multiple products to go on a seven-figure level, and also you need expertise or experts, and even in the PPC, any from A to Z, from Amazon, anything. There is one more question: that do you recommend launching multiple products? Definitely,
Yeah.
they will be needing multiple products when you are going to when you want to become a seven-figure seller.
Yeah, so
And
what I will say is that first you need to have a budget, right? You need to know
yeah,
what your budget is actually in reality with the cash flow issues that you might have. Um, with launching multiple products, I don't really see that way. What I can recommend is you always want to research 5 to 10 products. What I mean by that is imagine that you only research one product. So you talk to suppliers, you get samples, you get the fifth sample, and you think it's okay. It's not perfect. It has a few things to fix, but you already want to launch it because you spent 3 months on it. You just want to launch that product. It gets to Amazon, it doesn't work out, and then you're back to square one, and you wasted like 6 months of your time and resources and money and everything else. So if you have 5 or 10 products you research at a time, you don't feel obligated to go after a product you just research, and maybe the samples are not good enough. You want to launch a product when the product itself actually works. The packaging doesn't have to be perfect. The logo doesn't have to show up on the product if it costs more money or whatever. Like, you don't
yeah,
need those things, but the product has to work the best way it can work. So so if you have 5 or 10 products, some products might take 3 months from the moment you research them until they're being launched, and some might take over a
hmm,
year to launch. So if you
gotcha.
have multiple products, you
Mhm.
might launch a product every 2 3 months on average, and
Gotcha.
that should take you again pretty quickly to 7 figures.
Seven figure. That's really awesome. Thanks a lot. He got his question. Answer. Sorry, answer. Okay. So your book is included based on your personal experience.
Yeah, so again, I know I didn't really introduce myself, but I've been selling on Amazon since 2015. So a lot of it is based on my personal experience, but it's also based on the fact that I've consulted over 1,000 sellers, mainly 7 8 figure sellers, for the past 4 or 5 years, including a few aggregators as well. So
Oh,
what I tell like bigger sellers that consult for, they think they know everything about Amazon, right? Let's say someone is an 8 figure seller, might like selling more than me, let's say, right, on Amazon. They think they know everything, but the fact is I've seen over 1,000 accounts myself, right? So I've seen pretty much everything there is to see. Same thing for someone who is, I'm sure you can agree with this. Let's say someone is a 7 figure seller running PPC on their own. They might be positive they know PPC, but you have an agency. You've seen a lot of accounts. So
yeah,
you know what's working on a macro level, so you can actually
yeah.
come in and help them out on things that they won't necessarily notice. So
Mhm.
it's based on my experience, but also a lot of the experiences from me helping a lot of different sellers, and I
Gotcha.
give a lot of examples, like actual examples in the book of products and products I
Products.
failed
Yeah.
with and stuff like that.
Okay. So there's an appreciation that you work with Elevate brands and they are bigger name. Glad to see you consult them.
Yeah, so I worked with Elevate Brands for over a year. Worked with a few others as well. Yeah, Elevate is a great team, and I love those guys. Yeah,
Okay. So did you mention heck how to work with aggregators?
yeah, I can say what happened. So what happened with every aggregator that I worked with so far, um, and I know there are some agencies kind of listening and stuff like that. So I consulted a lot of advanced sellers, and they basically approached me on LinkedIn saying, "Hey, we heard about you from all of these different sellers. Let's talk." And what I did to kind of sell myself to them. So with one of the aggregators, I don't want to mention names, but one of them, what happened was they did like 4 or 5 calls with me before hiring me because I basically wanted equity in their business in that specific aggregator. I told them, look, I want equity if you want me as a consultant. And then they kind of went back and forth, and we just did multiple calls because they didn't want to hire me until they kind of see that I know what I'm doing. And I told them, look, just let me sign an NDA. Show me one store. Show me one brand that you run right now. And they had like 3 people on the call with me, and I kind of butchered the store on the call and told them, look, here you can do this, here you can do that, here launch these variations. The listing is not good, the images are not good here. And I just kind of gave them value on the call, and that closed the deal. And then we started with
Oh,
3 hours a week of my time with them, and it grew to over 10 hours a week with them with that specific aggregator. So that's what I do. What I always try to do is I always try to give value to sellers and to aggregators if I can. And if that gets me to work with them, great. If it doesn't, that's okay as well. But what I will say to everyone who has an agency, just try to give as much value as you can for free.
Yeah.
Don't charge for that value, and don't expect anything in return. And it
Don't
always comes back.
expect anything. Yep. You're absolutely right. According to your just now that we discussed about like the communication and the giving stuff. For example, if we are working for someone in the beginning, we have to give, and then ask them for. They will see your efforts. They will see your communication level, your efforts, the way of where you are working, and the way you are communicating with them. Definitely, they will give you before you ask them. It happens the
Yeah.
same. It happens the same because we are consulting a seller, and the seller it is in the struggling phase. We are trying to bring him back on a track to make some profit money. So it happens in the last night. I was going to sleep, and it was around 4 a.m. Dubai time, and suddenly I got his message that there was some problem in the listing, and he was a little bit like worried. And then I sit with him and I communicate with him. I solved the problem, and when we solved the problem, he appreciate me, and I also appreciate him because he was worried and now he's relaxed, and he appreciate me because I communicate well with him. These are the things that can build a strong business relationship with clients. Don't ask, don't expect. You will get. Just you need to only deliver the best.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I even did a product selection workshop a few months ago, and I wanted to give real examples of products I would launch. And it's not like finding your first product, it's you already have a brand, this is how you grow it. So what I've done is I just went to aggregators' websites, and basically, they have a few brands on their websites, right? So I basically did analysis for those brands, and I said what products I would launch if I were them. So then I sent them all an email to those specific aggregators I wanted to showcase. I told them, look, I want to do this workshop. Is it okay that I show your brands that are on your website? I still asked them for approval because I don't want to kind of, talk badly about their brands or anything like that. It wasn't the goal. The goal was just to kind of give real examples on the call. And I stayed in touch with a bunch of them after. So that was great as well. And I think agencies should do that more and more. Like as much as possible, just give free value. I do most of my calls with sellers. Like I don't really do one-on-one consultations these days. Most of my calls with sellers are free. Like I'm not charging for like initial calls with sellers. I don't do as much as I used to. But again, it always comes back in some way or another. Maybe that seller is not a good fit, so he's going to recommend it to 5 of his friends or something. But yeah, just focus on value.
This is the secret thing that you have told, that you are consulting sellers and you are not charging. Specifically, if somebody is there, and I will upload this video on YouTube as well, and we will post the link in the description as well of his book and also his workshop, because now in these days he's consulting free of cost, 700 figures. If anybody wants some kind of like information or knowledge or something, help for his products, his brand, he can consult. He can get consultation from him. And there's few more questions we have. I can feel you have mentioned many growth hack in the book. Excited to read. Should we launch the product? Should we launch product with variations?
Yeah. So this is a great question. So the short answer is it depends. So it all depends on the product you're gonna sell. So let's say you sell a garlic press, you probably don't need variations when you launch it, because most competitors probably don't have variations. Maybe they have a few color variations, and you might want to do that. But if you think about bed sheets, for example, you have queen size, king size, you have maybe patterns,
like
you have
master like
material, whatever. So there you must have variations, because all of the main competitors might have like 200 variations on one listing. What I will say is, like, sellers, as sellers, you kind of tend to avoid launching products that are complex. Let's say a product with 20 variations seems very scary. What I will say is that anything that seems scary is actually maybe a good idea to go after, because you won't have a lot of competitors doing the same thing. So let's say I found a product that is perfect. It's like $25 on Amazon. It's very simple. It's small. It's light. It fits in a small box. Not electronic. I can send it by sea, maybe even by air, whatever. And I found it with using whatever tool, right?
Gotcha.
That product is probably the worst idea to go after, because it's so easy to launch. It's so easy to copy or improve your idea. So instead, what you should do is you should look for products that are oversized or very expensive or very cheap, or very heavy, right? Or need FDA approval or are electronic or have a lot of variations. And if you can solve those products once, right, you just need to solve the sourcing and development part of it, and that's it. Once you launch it, you won't have that many competitors chasing you and kind of trying to, you won't have a lot of new players in the game with those products. So I rather fight once and then launch the product, instead of like not going easy with like the launch itself, but then fighting every single day with all of the competitors coming in.
Oh yeah. This is very good thing that you have told. Like it's really many like when a new seller, or for example, if they are confused, they should take this advice. They should definitely take this advice. Okay, so we have another question. If someone want to join your workshop, how they can?
Yeah, so I can give you the link, but if you go to Join Top Dog, that's my, you can call it, it's not really an agency, but I can call it an agency. JoinTopDog.com has, like on the top right, has a product selection workshop. You can just go there, put your name and email, and you get access to it. It's simple.
Perfect. So what are the main issues agency and sellers are facing while selling on Amazon, or while they are providing the services as well?
Yeah, so with sellers, I think that one of the main things is that all sellers know how to do is launch products. What I mean by that is they know how to find products, maybe improve them, source them, launch them, a bit of PPC, supply chain a bit, but that's it. They don't know. Like if they keep doing that, if they just keep launching product after product after product, if it's like a one person doing it, it's not really scalable, So I think that's a big mistake I see with sellers, is they don't put systems and teams to support the growth of their business, and that should happen again as soon as you can afford to hire people and already build the systems in place. You can use tools like Asana or ClickUp or Monday, and using Slack to communicate with your team. But anyway, all of that needs to be done as soon as you can, and it's a lot easier to do, by the way, when you're small. When you're bigger, it's a lot more difficult. Usually when I consult, let's say, an 8-figure business, and they have a big team already, they have a lot going on, but they use Skype and just talk in the office with each other, and that's how they get things done. For them to implement a complex system is difficult, But if someone has like a 3-4 people team, it's very easy for them to kind of build that quickly. What I will say about agencies, I'm not the biggest expert on agencies. I'm struggling with my own, I'm kind of learning as I go. What I will say that I figured out is that you need to understand what's your long-term game here. So let's say, and I try to think of it that every day is day one. So let's say you have a service. Let's say you have a PPC agency, right? And you say, okay, I'm charging, I don't know, $2,000 a month, $1,000 a month, per ASIN, per account, per brand, whatever you want to say, right? So you charge whatever. This should be your beginning of the funnel, okay? As I would call it. So this shouldn't be what makes you money at the end of the day. This should be kind of just to get people in the door. And then the next thing might be, okay, let's say your entire goal is to close one aggregator. One aggregator can be 50 brands, right, that you work with, and that can kind of pay for everything. I have a few friends that are running the PPC for aggregators, and and that's that's almost the only thing they do. So again, what I will say is, I think you just need to understand it's a long-term game. And for me, like my clients, pay me, like the clients I work one-on-one with, it's going to be like in the 6-figure mark, or I have equity in their business, or both, but that's where I make my money. My money doesn't come from the books are not profitable. The money doesn't come from consultation to sellers, like like obviously not the free calls, but I also have some services I offer sellers, but the main money doesn't come from there. Even if I charge a few thousand
Okay.
dollars, if it takes my time, because I'm a consultant, so it has to take my time. It cannot be my team consulting to someone. It's not really scalable. So I have to kind of figure out how I spend my time with the clients I really want, and those are like the one-on-one clients.
Got you. So basically, when the people it's like they see, oh my God, it's a bestseller. There's a lot of money, but the thing is, just you reveal the truth that how you are actually building the stuff and making the money. The name is attractive. Yep, the name is attractive, no doubt. I think the name is really the cool name. That did you feel that? I think so many people have told you, right? The name is cool.
Yeah, they like the name. Yeah,
Amazon very well. Oh my, I really like that. Okay. Uh, okay, we have as per your experience, an established brand launch new products as parent or add new variations. Like they launch
yeah,
new products as their parent, or they create the new variations with that existing products, and how
yeah.
it could impact the business.
Yeah, so again, we basically my answer to almost any question you will ask me on Amazon, it all depends on your competitors. So there's an entire chapter on that on the book, like what we take from competitors, and then we try to improve everything they do. So it starts with a better product, then it continues with better titles, better images, better everything. But one quick tip for those listening, because as you know, like I don't like I'm not doing any black hat tactics in Amazon, but I am doing whatever Amazon kind of allows me to do, and they didn't fix it. Like that. That's okay, right? That's fair game. So one thing you can do
Okay,
is, let's say you have 5 colors, you can launch all 5 colors separately,
got you.
sign all of them up for Vine program, so you can get 5 reviews for each. But as soon as they go live and they're registered with Vine, you put them together, and those will start getting Vine reviews quickly.
One
So
videos.
that way you can get 25 Vine reviews for one listing with 5 variations.
Got you. So, what do you say about brand dominancy? I think this is the very cool thing that brand dominancy. Like how they
Yeah,
can, like, maybe the question is not clear. Maybe the question is not clear. You can explain it in an answer in much better way.
yeah. I don't know if it's about product research or if it's about PPC or what it's about,
And
really.
so it's about, I think it's about the product research, because the brand dominance, like it's like, for example, there are 10 sellers and they are just selling only one parent listing, and if I
Yeah,
jump into it and I bring like five variations, so like that, the brand dominancy.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, again, what we look at when we look at the new product, we just, and again, in the workshop, you had like 2.5 hours of me talking about products. But what we look at, brand, when we look at the new product, we really want to see different brands doing well, selling FBA, and are not known brands. Even if we see like Gillette or Disney or major brands, we don't care as long as we have those FBA brands that are doing well, have low reviews, high revenues. That's what we look at, because we want to see there is room to go in. And let's say I have a toy, right? Let's say I'm looking at a toy I want to launch, and I see like on page one, I see a lot of FBA sellers all doing well, low reviews, high revenues. That's great. That's a good sign. And then I see Disney with 5,000 reviews doing 100K a month, right? That doesn't. I don't care. I don't care about that, because that actually means the pie of like the market is actually bigger, and I'm not competing with Disney, but I might take 1 or 2% from them overall when I launch. So it's actually better to have them in there than not have them in there. So I like having like those bigger brands. Again, I don't really care, like if they exist or not. They are doing a different model than I am. They are selling directly to Amazon. Amazon is selling those brands, or like Amazon brands itself. But as long as I have those FBA sales, I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay. There is a question like roadmap to launch a PL business. I think, yeah, roadmap
Yeah,
for PL business.
roadmap to launch. So the row underneath.
I wanna add one thing. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Amazon.
this is
Yeah,
exactly what it says.
the
Yeah,
same thing. The same thing I was going to say. The same thing. So this is the book, and she was actually asking as well. She was asking as well. Do you see then when she asked for the product link and you came and posted the
yeah,
link in the comments. Yeah, I think the people are from Pakistan also. They are very excited. The community really like you. Our community really like you.
cool,
Our
cool.
Pakistani community really like you. And what will be the okay? There's one question. Let's see what will be the strategy for the product mid ticket, having competitors ranked on first half, and also doing a wholesale with multiple sellers. How to overcome them? How we can rank or beat them because 70% plus of the sales generated from first half of the page CPC is also high.
Yeah, I understand. So I don't know anything about wholesale or retail
Yep.
arbitrage. All I know is private label. But I am very
Yep.
careful with when I select products. I don't want to see like 10 sellers on a listing because I know this is they probably do a different model, a different
Hmm.
model than just pure private label, right? So if a product has like 10 sellers on it, I know I kind of ignore them in my research. So it's kind of like seeing Disney as a seller. So I want to see private label sellers. So I want to see one or two sellers on many different listings to know and they're doing well with low reviews. And then I know, okay, there is opportunity to go in here and I can kind of ignore this one seller bidding very high on PPC, very aggressive, and all of them are kind of competing on the buy box to get sales. So I understand that. But again, the CPC stuff like that, I don't really care. Let's say someone has 50 reviews doing 10K a month and they are private label sellers and I see a few of those, then it's fine. They're all making money. It's all okay. They're all on page one. So I'm not too concerned about bids or how expensive bids are in my product research phase.
Gotcha. So there is a your boss of PL, your boss of PL, and one more comment is there. Really appreciate you giving us your time. Yeah, that there is no
Yeah, very
doubt.
happy
He
to.
gave us his precious time. He gave us his precious time. So regarding your book, for example, if somebody want to buy it, is it available in the stock or is it available in the ebook or paper book? Please,
Yeah. So
how they can buy them.
if you go to Amazon, it doesn't matter which country you go to, wherever is closer to you, you will have paperback. Hardcover, I think, is only available in the US and UK, I believe.
Okay.
And then you have the Kindle version. So the Kindle is like
Hmm.
a virtual version of the book as well, and I think that's like
Go.
$7 or something. And then
Oh,
paper book, I think
great.
is 17, and then hardcover is like $30. And the
Oh,
hardcover, I
great.
think
It's
that's
such a
the
good.
break-even cost for the hardcover.
Oh, that's great. It means that you are not charging even single penny. You are just giving it, take it, and just learn the
Yeah,
business and just launch it.
I mean Kindle and paperback are profitable, but we are also running PPC on the book. So
So that means that there is nothing. There is nothing.
yeah,
Okay, so I think there is one answer according to you. We just answer this question, and there is one more
yeah,
comment for you. If CPC is high, then before launching product, must read Amazon Wave book by. Really, really appreciate it that this conversation is really going very well. If anybody is here and want to ask the question, he is here. I mean, catch him. Don't let him go before the time finish. And if there is anything, like, okay, so as we discuss about your book has tons of knowledge for the product and for the building the brand, and you have consulted a lot of aggregators as well. Are you still, and now as you told that you are just helping free of cost to sellers, also as aggregators as well at the moment, or only sellers who they are just selling, or agency owners as well,
also
consultation?
aggregators. So yeah, we just finished. Like I finished my main commitment with Elevate, and we are looking for the next aggregator. We're pretty picky with who you work with. So if aggregators are listening, feel free to reach out and see if we can work together. Um, but yeah, for me, it's like I'm just looking for those clients that again are at least six figures to pay us, and then also sellers. But the sellers I work with again are kind of usually bigger sellers that want to grow or grow towards an exit. We have another program where we help sellers exit their business, and we take some equity once they exit their business. So
Okay. So you help the people with to exit the brand as well. Am I right?
yeah, because I've seen so much with the aggregators that they know what they're looking for, and basically what they do is I work with them for between 12 to 24 months and help them grow their business and optimize it before they exit.
Okay. So there is one more thing when you are working with aggregators, there is there is so many requirements and when we are working with aggregators, that means there is so many requirements, there's so many stuff, so much tough schedule of working, and so many how do you manage this all? How do you manage this all, and how do you manage the time, the reports, the results?
Yeah. So what I will say, what I can recommend agencies is to find one thing that you think you're good at, and there are not many that can offer that one thing. So what I did, for example, with the aggregators I worked with so far, is it always started with me training their brand managers. So basically giving them
Oh,
the same training I give advanced Amazon sellers. So we basically each of them is opening up their brands. We go over their listings. We go over basically the entire thing, which products they should go after, how they can improve their existing products or pay less for their products, stuff like that. So that's how I always start, with a few hours a week doing that, and then I can go into more interesting things. So with one aggregator, I was kind of part of their M&A team for a while, so they showed me a lot of the different brands, and I told them what I think, if they should acquire them, not acquire them, if I would acquire them, what I would do first in terms of growing them. So I've done a lot, on with different aggregators, but I think it's finding that one thing that you are really, really good at. So let's say it's PPC, right? So if you can if you are exceptionally good at DSP, for example, that's something you can go to an aggregator and say, hey, we know how to do DSP correctly.
yes, correctly.
Let us run it for a month for you for free, and let us show you what we can do.
Yeah.
It can really be anything. Or let's
Yep.
say
This
it's
is
you tell them, look,
Mhm.
we will do the video ads for you, right? Your video ads we checked are not good enough. Let us work with our agency that does the video ads. We will do those for you. Let us build like 10 ads for you for free, and then we can see if you should work together or not. Like
Yeah.
just come up with one thing that you think you can do a lot better, and they think that can really help. The other thing I would say is that it's all about connections. I think, like, I'm sure aggregators are getting cold emails every single day from
Yeah.
agencies through their websites. So if you can get a way in
Connection.
from someone who can recommend it to them, maybe even sellers you worked with for 2 years ago, maybe they sold by now. So you should probably email them and say, hey, how's your brand doing? Do you need any help? Whatever you want me to go over it. If they say, hey, I exited, you can say, hey, who did you sell it to? Can you connect us to them? Or I mean, there are so many ways to kind of know people. I'm flying next month to a Helium 10 event in Vegas, and I'm speaking there. So I think if anyone can come, I think that's a great event for networking and meeting people. I can highly recommend going to events in general. I think I honestly don't learn much from the content in those events, but I am networking like crazy as much as I
Network
can,
is
and
power.
I'm just trying to meet a lot of new people.
Yeah, network is power.
Yeah.
Network is power. Network is power. So I think we do not have any questions that are here. So I just want to say at the end, if somebody want to buy the book, the Amazon Wave, it is really a great book. And to be honest, it's not like something relate like other books. Definitely, if you want, just go and buy from Amazon. Also, I will just paste the link. I will copy the. I will post the link in the description of my YouTube channel, and in the comments as well. So anybody who want to buy, they can simply go and buy and must read it. Actually, it's a
Yeah.
must read.
I will just say one thing. Like, the book took me over 2 years to complete. This is not like a PDF that you get from different agencies or
Oh,
whatever. It took me like the entire period of COVID pretty much to complete. And the book is written in an easy to read way. It's not heavy. It's 300 pages long, but it's not heavy. I had people sending me messages. They read it in a day or two. And if you do get it, either the Kindle or paperback, and you kind of put it on your shelf or not really read it, just read the first chapter. The first chapter is mindset, and you will see that it's very different than everything you heard until now in this industry. And then you will probably want to keep reading. So just read the first chapter. It's just a few pages. Yeah, that's it.
Well, the mindset is very important. Like I have seen there is like many new sellers or some existing seller as well. They do not have the mindset. They do not have their clear goals. What they are doing, they are just doing it. No goal, no mindset. So this is really good that there is a topic on the mindset. Definitely, it is really helpful for the Amazon sellers, for the bigger agencies as well. I would highly recommend to read this book for sure. So thank you so much for the. I think anything else? Anything else you wanna share? Something you?
Um, Let me think. I'm thinking about the agencies out there because I know that there are a lot of them out there. I can say like one thing about agencies. So this is a trick I've done a few times with getting sellers that I want to work with. So there are sellers that are just open with what they sell, right? And they have bigger brands, and you can just kind of and you know what they sell. So I get approached all the time by different agencies on Facebook and LinkedIn. Hey, I have a PPC agency. Hey, I do sourcing. Hey, I do this. Work with me. Let's talk. Whatever. I never answer those messages. Okay, I never reply. Wasim, I think you messaged me and said, "Hey, let me help you promote the book," right? And instead of like again taking something from me, like taking my money to kind of work with them before I even know who they are, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So instead, what
Yep,
I've
it
done with
doesn't.
sellers is that I send them, hey, I just recorded a short 15-minute video for you going over your brand with my thoughts. Here's the video, and I just send them the video. And at the end of the video, I say, hey, if you watched until now, if you want to work together, message me back. That's it.
Yep,
You know.
that's it.
And
Give the
again, it
value.
doesn't always work. It doesn't matter. I just gave them value. They might come back. They might not. They might recommend me. They will talk about it for sure with like other sellers, right? On what happened. So again, it all starts with giving value, and don't like cold message anyone. I really think it's a bad idea. It doesn't really work. One of the aggregators actually,
But
one of the aggregators, they have these lead generation, right? They have all of the 7-figure sellers on Amazon in a huge spreadsheet, and they email them, right? They email them and say, "Hey, we want to buy your brand." Like that's what they did a year ago. I can tell, like from experience, like 20,000 emails were sent out, 0 deals were done with one of the aggregators I consulted for from those cold emails. So,
oh,
I mean, obviously,
okay.
it's worked maybe in the past to Thrasio, it was at the very beginning, but it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense that it will actually work that way unless it's like a personal relationship intro or unless you give them something
Hmm.
or unless you show them something. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think that's why aggregators sponsored events like crazy, kind of building their name up, getting known in the
Yes,
market. So it's all about relationships, but then it's all about giving value if you cannot build those relationships.
value. Definitely, value and relationship. Both are the things. Even like cold mailing. We know there are VAs with so many people are doing it, but the thing is, there is a way of cold emailing as well. Like as you said, the providing the value, and then expecting something. But it's not 100% that definitely they will get back to you. But sometimes, yeah, they could get back to you, and you can work with them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you so much for your time, for your precious time, and definitely I will post the link in my YouTube description so people can go ahead and enjoy the book reading.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Wasim. Bye bye.
Bye bye.